£1 million Motorhomes is back.
Yes!
Our motorhome costs $2.1 million.
And this time, we're not only travelling the UK...
Oh, it's a honker!
This is our double-decker bus.
We're heading stateside.
Love it.
Following Brits over the pond.
There's a good percentage of people that think we're completely mad.
We have exclusive access...
between $2.4 and $2.6 million.
...to some of the most luxurious motorhomes on the planet.
I spent $2.5 million net cost to build it.
We explore life on the road...
This is living the dream.
...in vehicles of all shapes and sizes...
So our motorhome.
...and get exciting insights into the world of self-builds too.
We constantly get asked, can you build this for us?
Everybody ready to roll?
This really is motorhoming at its finest.
Let's get the show on the road.
This time, we meet the British family who have packed their entire life into a motorhome to travel the States.
I think there's a good percentage of people that think we're completely mad.
Oh
Have you
my goodness me.
seen anything like it?
We hit the road with a couple who take luxury to a whole new level.
We call our Class A motorhome the Rolling Ritz. When you get in there, you feel like you're in the Taj Mahal on wheels.
And if you fancy creating your own motorhome out of a regular white van, we meet the couple who have nearly finished converting theirs.
Sam's been sat there, and I'm doing all the graft.
But you do an amazing job.
Thanks.
Us Brits love a motorhome, with nearly 250,000 of us owning our own. But over in the USA, there are more than 11 million proud owners.
Yay! Whoa.
And it's not just Americans behind the wheel.
When I first started driving this, I was completely terrified, to be quite honest with you. I mean, it is a big bit of kit.
Meet the Campbell family from Oxfordshire. 40-year-old Campo, his wife Katie, who's 37, and their 3 girls, Taba 8, Kiki 6, and 4-year-old Indy. They've taken a year out to travel the world.
We've pretty much sold everything. I think there's a good percentage of people that think we're completely mad.
We're joining the family on the American leg of their journey. And what better way to travel the States than in a motorhome? Trouble is, they've never motorhomed before.
We're learning so much. We have no idea what we're doing.
Reversing is the big thing. I get Katie to get out the car, and we've got to get our signalling right between us. I can't see Mummy now. I don't know where she is. Oh.
Did you just hit the bin? Oh, no.
Good job there's plenty of friendly campers to offer advice.
Well done. Come on, girls, let's get out.
They see us with 3 young girls and us looking so confused, and they just want to hug us and tell us it'll be OK and look after us. And they're like a set of grandparents everywhere we go, which is just brilliant.
The Campbells' home as they travel round the States is this 2018 Thor Majestic. It's built on a Ford chassis, and it set the Campbells back by the princely sum of $52,000, which is nearly £42,000.
So we've got all the hookups, so water, sewage, which we've only done once, power, and I have no idea what these ones are.
But how easy is it for a family of 5 to share one space? Well, the front seats double as comfy armchairs. There's a compact kitchen with hob and oven, and of course, a full-size fridge for a full-size family.
It's mainly just wine, vegetables and chocolate.
Sounds like all the essentials to me. The 3 youngest Campbells share the bunk above the driver's seat, while Katie and Campo sleep at the back.
And then the bedroom area. So we've got this that comes all the way across. We don't tend to use it because we find there's quite a lot of bed hopping going on in the middle of the night. I never know who I'm going to wake up with.
I went into Mummy's bed because I had a bad dream.
Yes, living in a motorhome can mean you don't get the best night's sleep. And it's not just the kids who are to blame.
Daddy snores the loudest. Daddy snores the loudest. Daddy snores the loudest.
That's unanimous then. Sorry, Daddy Campo. 5,000 miles away in rural Oxfordshire, TV presenter Matt Allwright is on a journey of his own in his Volkswagen California.
We're going to go and pick up my very, very good friend Davey, with whom I've been on many, many trips, both in this van and in others around the UK. Hello there.
Hello.
You just happen to be standing there with a guitar and a buoyancy aid.
Yeah.
Matt and his mate are off on a wet and wild adventure, canoeing on the River Thames.
It grants you access to the countryside. That's what these things are for, really. We're going to get on the water in a bit. You excited about that? How are you feeling about it?
I'm really excited. I haven't been out in a kayak since last summer. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Matt's camper proves that motorhomes don't have to be big to deliver.
This thing behind me is like a life support machine.
A new California could set you back more than £70,000, or a used one can range from about 10,000 to well above 50.
I really love the art of compact living. Growing up, my mum and dad had a VW Viking, but then it had this pop top on it that opened up and you could have 4 beds just in the top. It's the most exciting thing I'd ever seen.
So it's not surprising that when Matt grew up, all he wanted was a motorhome of his own.
So let's have a look. Join me. Yeah. Check it out. Join me in my natural environment here, already looking luxurious, but you're saying, hold on, what's the attraction? It all looks calm and peaceful. It's when you start opening doors and pushing buttons that it gets really exciting. For instance, here, that's a fridge. And then over here, it's only a double hob and a sink. So exciting for everybody concerned. If you drive past relatively quickly, people will go, oh, there's a plumber's van. They don't realise what's packed into this package.
So what's in your package, Matt? Come on, show us what you've got.
Back up a bit, guys, back up a bit. Watch this. You're gonna blow your mind. Ready? It's a table. I'm basically driving a Swiss Army knife. So under here, we've got storage. This one, it's got everything. Don't look at that, that's a mess. It's fine. The best thing about owning a motorhome is the sense of smug superiority. It'll get you where you're going in comfort and style. It is that moment when the guy goes past you in the Ferrari and he overtakes you, like that. And then you get to the lights and you look down and you think to yourself, you may be in a Ferrari, mate, but we're at the same set of lights. So what was that all about? You've got Ferrari, but you haven't got a fridge. And now I'm gonna have a Kit Kat. What have you got? Nothing, because you haven't got any room.
And talking of room,
so what effect has that had? Well, shall I show you? It's very simple. Okay, here we go. Oh. We've got headroom. We've got headroom now. Look at that. So I can stand up quite happily at 6'1", and I've got all this space. It's just beautiful.
while the back seats double up as a bed, the Magic headspace also has a dual purpose.
There's another very nice bed up here. Yeah. Ah, so you're asking, what's this? This big, black, long thing on the side. Well, and this is very useful for wet days. We occasionally have wet days, let's face facts. We went to a festival in July and it rained solidly for 4 days. It's just like magic. Lovely action. That sorts the sheep out from the goats. When you have bad weather, how are you going to cope with it in a relatively small environment? It's hard to imagine what else a man could want.
What indeed? Coming up, we see inside one of the most expensive motorhomes on the market.
Our motorhome costs $2.1 million.
Get exclusive access to a mega motorhome factory.
In a normal production week, we'll build on average 30 to 40 motorhomes in a week at this facility.
And that Campbell's have a blockage.
I can feel it all coming through.
Oh, God.
I know.
I'm halfway through my lunch, Camps.
This is rank. I hate this.
New motorhomes can set you back anywhere from about 50 grand to, well, the sky's the limit. In the last 2 years, the number of people converting run-of-the-mill vans to motorhomes has boomed. You can save a fortune and customise your camper to suit your needs.
This life is generally something we've, always wanted. We've longed for it so many times.
Chris and Sam Hall from Plymouth have done just that to an old Volkswagen van.
Welcome to our home.
This is an LT35. It used to be an ex-minibus, which we have converted into our home on wheels.
After taking this old van back to a shell, it's taken 10 months to convert so far.
Get in there.
Sam and Chris recently gave up their 9-to-5 jobs as a beautician and an engineer.
It was a lot to give up.
They've rented out their house and are going to live in the van permanently as they tour the UK and Europe.
We realised we wanted to go full-time in the van, I think, maybe in the middle of the pandemic, wasn't it? We had this, burning desire in the back of our heads to try it.
And the interior has been a labour of love, from installing oak worktops to building a lounge area, complete with a bookshelf. They've used every inch of space, even squeezing in a shower and a toilet.
It's got everything that we need in there.
In you go, Chris.
So, yeah, this is the shower and all that. And the warm water, we only have 10 litres, so it's literally turn it on, rinse down, turn it off again. You just got to live with what you got, you know?
Am I the only one who spotted the snow shower curtain?
We've gone for literally just a clear door.
We need to make sure all blinds are down when we're in that shower.
The money Chris and Sam have saved doing the conversion work themselves is pretty impressive.
We bought the van for £3,400 and the total cost is in the region of £13,500.
Chris has been able to use his dad's workshop to help keep costs down.
For us being able to build it at the workshop was an absolute godsend. I had all the tools on hand, saved us a lot of money.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And it was a great space to store all our stuff.
This industrious duo really went that extra mile to get everything in.
So this bed, we actually had to cut the mattress down because it didn't quite fit in, but we both fit in it comfortably, don't we?
Yeah.
It's rather comfortable, though.
And that's with 3 in a bed, because Fletcher, the Cocker Spaniel, snuggles in too. These 2 intrepid travellers have even made their home self-sufficient. The leisure battery is topped up by the engine when they're on the road, and the roof is fitted with solar panels.
100 litres of fresh water. That probably lasts us 2 or 3 days.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what's amazing is we can be completely off-grid for about 4 or 5 days.
As you can see, we have loads of storage underneath. My wetsuit and all that. Sam's kettlebell.
I plan to do some exercise on the road.
The van is almost complete. They've just got the roof terrace to finish.
I saw it online and I was like, let's just try it.
Once done, their European adventure can start. Crack on, Chris. Well, that's how DIY enthusiasts do it. But across the Atlantic, we're getting a sneak peek inside a state-of-the-art factory in Decatur, Indiana, to see how one of their ginormous motorhomes are put together. Don Geffart works for the Rev Group, manufacturers of luxury RVs, Holiday Rambler, Fleetwood and American Coach.
In a normal production week, we'll build on average 30 to 40 motorhomes in a week at this facility.
Holiday Ramblers range from $150,000 to over $500,000. And this model comes with a king-size bed, dining area, LED TV, and of course, a fire.
We like to refer to RVs as your home away from home. And if we don't provide that home for you, you're not going to want to hang out in the motorhome much.
In this 350,000 square foot production line, all RVs start with the chassis, which arrive with wheels, engine and electrics already built in.
So just like your house, you want your house to be built on a solid, strong foundation.
And that foundation involves bolting steel frames known as bridges to the chassis with aerospace-grade hook bolts. With the bridge secured, this power platform is strong enough to carry 29 tonnes. The insulated and laminated floors and walls interlock to form the house frame.
We try not to use very much wood because, number one, wood attracts moisture, and number two, wood creaks when it moves. So we want to eliminate as much noise as possible.
The cabinets and around $1,000's worth of kitchen appliances are fitted next. And the coach is ready for the slide boxes.
So this slide box has been built, it's complete, it's got the furniture installed.
The slide boxes slot into the side of the RV and provide even more space for luxuries like full-sized furniture and appliances.
The coach is essentially finished inside.
So now the roof can go on.
And again, that interlocks with the walls and becomes a unified box.
But you can't have a lavish RV without an equally impressive paint job.
We're one of the only manufacturers that have a dedicated paint facility.
Monica has worked at this factory for 25 years.
What I'm doing here is putting on the paint mask. Wherever you see yellow, that is what's going to stay silver.
There's a whole range of designs to make your RV stand out from the Joneses.
You have to literally sometimes curve or tape. So yes, you have to get it very precise, because if you don't, you will see like, hey, that line is not right in my coach.
Each colour requires 3 coats, followed by 3 to 5 coats of clear paint. After final quality control checks, the motorhome's ready for the road, built in 4 to 8 weeks depending on the model. But a motorhome this size needs a big tank of fuel, a 100-gallon tank to be precise. And that'll be around 700 quid, a mere drop in the £1 million motorhome ocean. On a slightly smaller scale, Matt Allwright also has a van that came direct from the manufacturers.
It comes straight out of the factory like this. So it's not converted, it's not bespoke, it's just the way it is. And because of that, they worked really hard to get the design absolutely right.
Matt and his friend Davey are going canoeing on the River Thames.
You use this a lot, don't you?
I do. I use it an awful lot. I love this thing because I can drive it into a city centre. I want to be able to stick this in a normal car park space. I mean, I love the bigger motorhomes, but it's not for me. I like to keep it very simple, very straightforward, very small. Have you seen this before? You've seen one of these, right? Look. Are you intrigued?
Yeah.
You fill that with water. That's on the outside. It's a gilly kettle, and it heats up the water really quickly because the fire is on the inside of it. In literally just 2.5 hours, you'd have enough for a bath.
But before any hot water, they need to get ready for the cold.
You'll notice that Davey and I have a very different approach to clothing. I tend to go kind of modern sportswear. Davey, I think, feels like he's a Norwegian fighting behind the lines during the war. You know, Heroes of Telemark, if you've ever seen that film.
So this is where Matt and I differ. I tend to try and look quite good. Matt's going for leisure wear, kind of hip-hop tracksuit style.
There we go, then.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
As Matt and Davey head downstream, over in Arizona,
seatbelts on, everyone.
The Campbells are travelling too.
Yeah, we're excited.
Taking their 3 kids away from the UK means that as well as being a home, the RV also has to be a mobile classroom.
What's the first question?
How many oranges does the customer want?
Luckily, Katie's a school teacher in the UK.
Excellent. They have to do some reading, some times tables. They write a diary every day. So that's a pound sign, remember? And that's kind of the bare minimum. Good girl, yes.
So what's on the curriculum today? Well, the first lesson is geography. And the family are off to visit one of the world's natural wonders, the Grand Canyon. But before they can hit the road, there's a problem. A very smelly problem.
So I've got to sort out a blocked loo.
Larger motorhomes usually have a toilet on board, but they still need to be emptied into a campsite sewage system.
Not one of the jobs that I relish.
This is a blue job, not a pink job.
Surely it's a brown job, isn't it? Sorry.
It's a blue job that needs pink assistance.
OK.
And I also don't have any gloves. And I'm also just about to have lunch.
Never mind your lunch. You put me off me tea.
Sweetheart, to sort this block out, I think you're going to need to have your foot on the...
Fine, yeah.
On the thing.
Do you need to
as I release the... And hopefully...
Right, so...
Fingers crossed.
The plan is that Mum will flush the toilet while Dad releases the pressure to dislodge the number 2.
Campo!
Yeah, no, hang on, I'm gonna give you a shout.
OK.
OK.
Yeah?
1, 2, 3. Any joy?
No, nothing's happening my end.
Oh.
Motorhomes have 3 tanks. One for fresh water, one for wastewater, and one for you-know-what. It's also helpful if you can tell them apart.
I think I've opened the wrong one.
What? What do you mean?
I think I've done the grey one first.
What is the grey one?
The grey one's the sink water.
All right, well, that's not a problem, is it?
Well, it's quite annoying because you're meant to rinse it out with the grey stuff.
Oh, my God.
But anyway, go back. We're going to have to do the other one now. Hopefully, it'll...
Are we ready?
OK, 3, 2, 1... I can feel it all coming through.
Oh, God.
I know.
I'm halfway through my lunch, Camps.
Come on, get on with it. This is rank. I hate this.
Soon, Katie and Campo get the right tank.
Oh, my God, this is the worst bit. The joys of campervan life.
And with the blockage cleared, next stop, the Grand Canyon.
Turn left.
Coming up, gadget guru Tommy Adebayo puts 3 portable barbecues through their paces. Which one will be his hot ticket?
If space is limited, like in a motorhome, then having a compact-sized barbecue is very important.
It's all aboard Pat and Jan's $2.1 million coach that offers the luxury lifestyle.
The Prevost motorhome is 45 foot long. It weighs 56,000 pounds.
And after 10 months of hard graft, will Chris and Sam finally get on the road? Or end up in A&E?
Don't do that to me!
On the river at Henley-on-Thames, TV presenter Matt Allwright and his friend Davey have been canoeing and are heading back to dry land. Thankfully, Matt's camper van is ready and waiting.
Bit of barbecue on? That's quite a lot, isn't it?
It'll be fine.
Think? I just like this corner. What's the worst that could happen?
Your lycra leisure suit could drop. You got it?
Time to get the kettle on.
Yeah, I can risk lighting 2 things at the same time.
Is there no firelights or anything in there?
Yeah, we've got firelighters, but I think that's too easy.
I'm with Davey.
Come on.
Patience is a virtue, Matt.
You're going to cut out the bit where it takes half an hour to get it going, yeah? Don't show all of that. Maybe look like Bear Grylls. Look at that. I think that's good to cook.
Yeah.
This is the moment now that it's all about. We've been out on the water. We've had a long journey to get here. Now we get a slightly milky, possibly disappointing cup of tea. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
I mean, it does take quite a lot of effort. I wonder if the effort's the point of it.
Brew made and the food's on the barbie.
The smoke will permeate and it will influence the music that we're about to make. If you're in a normal car or a bicycle, could you just stop and have a barbecue?
No.
You wouldn't, would you? Why does the van change it?
All the comforts of home, but you're in the middle of a field.
And we're not bothering anybody, really.
We could go on for hours.
Nobody would miss us, is the truth.
Ah, well, we'd miss you guys. Now, come on, give us another tune. Sales of motorhomes are booming, and so are accessories to go with them. With so many products competing for your dosh, let our gadget guru Tommy Adebayo be your guide with his selection of motorhoming must-haves.
I love my gadgets, and when space is at premium, the more compact, the better.
In 2020, we Brits enjoyed close to 190 million barbecues. So this week, Tommy is putting some bijou Barbies through their paces to decide which one he'd choose for some camper van cooking.
Summertime's coming up. One thing that we're going to be doing as a motorhome owner is barbecuing. If space is limited, like in a motorhome, then having a compact-sized barbecue is very important.
So how will he find our 3 charcoal-burning contenders?
I can't wait to put these barbecues to the test. It'll be fun.
Our budget option is a barbecue from Argos, our lightest in the test. A fraction larger is our mid-priced one from Landman. Finally, our priciest option on test is a Weber and is the biggest and heaviest of the 3. All our models have removable legs to make them more compact, so Tommy's first test is to put those back on.
Some people call me the king of flat packs.
There's confidence for you.
How hard can it be? What's important is how compact they are, easy to put together afterwards as well.
Tommy has no idea how much they cost, but which one will be his favourite? First, the mid-ranger.
This one comes with a tongue as well, which is pretty neat. It also comes with a thermometer already on there.
Next up is the most expensive of the 3.
Everything's nice and secure, nice and lightweight as well. And this one's got big air vents all over the place. There's a big one up top here, there's some on the sides. It should be nice and easy to set up. You don't want to be wasting time when you could be barbecuing. Even though it's a bit more fiddly compared to the other one, it's easy to put together. And your timing this is really nice and sturdy, actually. This is a tad bit heavier than this one.
And finally, the budget Barbie.
You notice this one as well, it's nice and compact. Yeah, so this one goes the other way around. This one's nice and straightforward. So this is the smallest out of all of them. This one feels solid as well once you screwed it into place. And if you ever need to remove this, you've got this little tool here to slot into there and move things away for where you need to clean it and stuff like that. This is the lightest one out of all of them.
All fully assembled, but which one will Tommy prefer using?
In a true British fashion, lovely weather for that barbecue sesh. Tell you what, it's keeping me warm at the same time. They're all getting hot, but this one's got the thermometer, so we can actually see this getting gradually hotter and hotter.
Bring on the bangers.
I hope you're hungry.
How are things heating up, Tommy?
This is a lot more even. I can put that anywhere on here, and it's all nice and doing what it's meant to do, barbecuing the sausages. But this one, I'm having to move things around a bit. You can see that one still needs some work, so I'll pop that in the middle there.
After another 10 minutes...
Looks like they might be done.
With his sausages successfully sizzled, all 3 barbecues have done the job. But which was Tommy's top?
If I had to pick my favourite out of this lot, I'd say this barbecue here is my favourite one, because generally I had a nice even spread of heat on there. It was just a nice height as well if you're not leaning over too much. This just feels like it will last me forever.
Will Tommy feel the same when he learns the prices?
I'm still going to be leaning towards this one, just because of the premium quality.
So there you have it. Our most expensive Barbie takes the honours. Hot dog, anyone?
This is what it's all about.
Over in the States, compact living is less of a concern, especially for Pat and Jan, currently heading to the Blue Ridge Mountains for a mini break.
We call our Class A motorhome the Rolling Ritz. When you get in there, you feel like you're in the Taj Mahal on wheels.
Pat and Jan are the proud owners of a 2019 Prevost Marathon.
In 2019, we found this coach, and Pat said, we're going to get our money's worth out of this. And I think we have, don't you, Pat?
Yes. The Prevost motorhome is 45 foot long. It weighs 56,000 pounds.
And rolling around in 5-star luxury comes with a hefty price tag.
Our motorhome costs $2.1 million.
Dollars.
That's still 1.7 million quid to you and me. After a successful career in the insurance industry, Pat and Jan now spend half of the year travelling, from coast to coast, visiting national parks and seeing friends and family.
We've put so far 20,000 miles on it.
This motorhome is everything that we could want. This is the one for us.
Come on then, give us the tour.
Welcome to the living room of the Rolling Ritz.
For 1.7 million, this luxurious home on wheels has 2 slides that widen the living area and the bedroom. There's no need for camping-friendly compact furniture here. Just look at all that wood and leather.
I like that I have a full-size refrigerator in there, and then this is the full drawer freezer with ice maker. So, I mean, we are the envy of a lot of our traveling companions.
It's not just the massive fridge to be envious of.
I think the bed is the best. I prefer this over even the bed that we have at our home. King-size memory foam. It's just super comfortable.
The bedroom has an ensuite, and that's on top of the fully fitted family bathroom, which has a TV, of course.
This motorhome has a huge shower. There's plenty of room, your head won't hit the top, and you never run out of hot water. For that extra touch of luxury, we have the marble floors.
Crikey, no wonder it weighs 26 tons.
My favorite place to sit and relax is right here on the sofa. That way I can watch the full-screen TV and see the beautiful view outside.
Well, put your feet up in front of the fire, Pat, and soak up the scenery. Now, we don't all have pockets deep enough for a £1 million motorhome.
Whoa, 26. Nice one. Yep.
Yeah? Sam and Chris Hall from Devon have saved more than 20 grand by converting their own £3 van into a camper.
Oh, you've drawn the line, okay.
I was going to make sure you double-checked it.
Have you triple-checked? Because I know last time you cut one a bit too short.
It was a bit too short, wasn't it?
Yes.
And now they're on to the last job, the sun deck.
Look at that. You think you might have done this to the right length, yeah?
I don't think, I know.
And since this is all Sam's brainchild...
Joking.
Don't do that to me. Thought I went through your finger then.
It wouldn't have been the first time.
Are you a bit bored of doing the bus build? I think you are. It's like, come on, I want to go.
The holes are in, board's all cut. We have to take it up to the bus now, and we're going to go and put it on the roof.
Ready?
We're ready.
Hope the plank's the right length, Chris.
Looking good.
Looking good?
Right, so this has been the really hard bit. So this has been about 90% of the build. Sam's been sat there in the sun, cuddling Fletcher, and I'm doing all the graft.
But you do an amazing job. I hope you know that.
Thanks. Ah, lost the washer.
After a bit more trial and error...
It's done!
Oh, my God.
We never doubted your measuring skills, Chris.
That's the bus complete.
We are ready to hit the road now.
They're doing a test run before they head to France to start their motorhoming adventure.
So, this is it. After, like, 10 months. It's going to be funny driving on the different side of the road in a different country.
I've never done that. I've never driven on the, wrong side of the road.
No.
With their house also rented out, these three can live footloose and fancy-free.
Jesus, this is a quarter and a half of the bus.
Hell, isn't it?
Oh, can you smell that horse manure?
First stop, Dartmoor National Park.
How's the ladder feel?
Feels good.
Good. Oh, they look cool.
Them.
After grafting for the best part of a year and saving themselves a small fortune, it's time to celebrate.
You got it.
I'm scared.
Sun deck cheers.
You've done such an amazing job of this decking. I literally feel like we could be anywhere in the world right now. To the start of our journey.
To the start of our journey, babe.
Now all that's left for Sam and Chris to do is put their feet up and dream of their travels ahead. Coming up...
Who's excited?
The Campbells finally make it to the Grand Canyon.
My mind is just blown away by this place.
Wow. And where do you go if you have £1 million motorhome?
Take the second exit.
To £1 million motorhome resort, of course.
It's like a little slice of heaven.
With an area of nearly 4 million square miles, America is 40 times bigger than the UK. There's plenty of room on the roads for luxury RVs that resemble hotels more than motorhomes.
I drive most of the time, but Jan knows how to drive in case of an emergency.
But Pat doesn't really like my driving.
Pat and Jan Elsie call theirs the Rolling Ritz, and it cost 1.7 million quid.
I am a mountain, freshwater, dirt kind of girl. He is a saltwater and sand kind of guy. So this way we can kind of travel around and have the best of both worlds.
Pat and Jan, who met on a blind date nearly 40 years ago, are heading for their favourite resort in North Carolina, built for the grandest of motorhomes.
Mountain Falls is like a little slice of heaven.
To stay at this little slice of heaven, you must own a flat-fronted motorhome called a Class A. You still sleep on board, but can enjoy the golf course, clubhouse, 2 swimming pools, and a mobile cocktail cart. Yeah, you heard right. I said cocktail cart. After a 7-hour, 335-mile journey from Savannah, Pat and Jan roll up at their destination and stretch their legs with a quick game of pickleball.
I love playing pickleball.
I think it's like tennis, but with ping-pong bats, but I've no idea where pickle comes into it. Anyway, put the bat down, Jan. How about a tour around the resort?
Okay, here is our beautiful clubhouse. You can see the pool and the hot tub, and when you're soaking in there, you've got the view of the Blue Ridge Parkway.
A landscaped lot with fire pit and dining area can cost around $160 to rent for the night. But to buy it could set you back around $275,000.
In the spring and summer, you can see the trees with the green leaves. It's very nice.
But for the ultimate luxurious lot, head to the Ridge. The most beautiful part of the resort has far-reaching views of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and the cost is eye-watering.
So a lot on this ridge would set us back about $1 million.
For that money, you could get a cottage on the plot, but it's only to be used as an extension to your motorhome. Here, the RV really is everything.
I think we buy the motorhomes because we want to experience life to the fullest. So we want the best. Doesn't it feel good to be here? It's just so beautiful.
The best part about the motorhome experience with me is you bring the hotel room with you everywhere you go, and it's first class. When do you think Kayla's going to be here with the cocktail cart?
I think she should be here any minute now. Having this motorhome, it's very fundamental to our relationship. It keeps us close and enjoying the same things.
Well, the luxury life in an RV certainly seems to be working for Pat and Jan. Ah. Oh, I think I can hear the cocktail cart.
Hey, Kayla.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you.
I'm having the usual.
May I have a dirty gin martini?
Well, it's all right for some.
Cheers, baby.
Slice of heaven.
It's good to be back.
Nearly 2,000 miles away in Arizona, the Campbells, who have left life in Oxford behind for their ultimate motorhome adventure, have finally made it to the Grand Canyon.
Who's excited?
Me, I am. Showing their 3 daughters some of the incredible sights of America is all part of the Campbells' journey. And giving them a tour of this one is Gigi.
It's important that these girls get a chance to see the seventh wonder of the world.
Did you hear that? The seventh wonder of the world, this.
Oh, I'm excited.
Thank you.
The Grand Canyon is nearly 2 kilometers deep, which means it's a very long drop, and there aren't any safety barriers.
Wow. Oh my goodness me.
Seen anything like it? Okay, everyone in? We're also on a family adventure, and we're in the Grand Canyon, and my mind is just blown away by this place. Completely blown away.
That's great, but this is a school day.
You remember that this used to be an ocean.
An
yeah.
ocean, that's right.
And so this is what's left. These are the bones of fish that have been caught in the mud that's then turned into rock, I guess.
In fact, some of the rocks in the Grand Canyon are 1.8 billion years old.
The girls are quite excited by it. The big two are really understanding it and understanding how vast it is. And, you know, we've never seen anything like this before in the UK. The girls' headmaster had said, I should be here probably saying you should not take your kids out of school, da, da, da. But he was like, they are going to learn so much. They're going to be brilliant people as a result.
That's the geography lesson over. And after a bit of time out for some PE, the school day comes to an end with a biology class.
This tree is very special.
I can smell a peppermint smell though, Keith.
The pine trees that surround the Grand Canyon have a special smell, which is produced by the resin in the bark.
Come and put your nostrils around this.
Me?
Lavender?
No.
Ginger.
Then it's back home to the campsite for some toasted marshmallows around an open fire. Surely these kids have the best school classroom on the planet.
The sunsets we've seen in the most magical places, the cuddles from the girls when they come in the morning and we're just in this little van. You know, it's really, really special.
Next time, the motorhome owner leaving his old life behind.
I'm very emotional, to be honest, as you can see.
An American couple giving their van a very unique modification.
The perfect device for this is a stripper pole. You're gonna show me your dance moves? Yes?
And we get a glamorous glimpse into the world of A-listers.
I spent $2.5 million net cost to build it.
In the RVs used by Hollywood stars.
Will Smith, Charlize Theron, Jennifer Lopez, The Rock. I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
And there's more £1 Million Motorhomes next Sunday at 8. A quick heads up about Friday. You know we're giving the residents of Ramsey Street a proper send-off. Neighbours, the finale. Gather the family round Friday night from 9. Next tonight on Channel 5, the cruise heads for the Bahamas. And it isn't exactly smooth sailing. Stay with us.